Do you think just a pen, a little bit of paint, and one single blow could make something that turns painting into a completely different experience? All right, now comes the fun part. I grab a few popsicle sticks, just the simple ones you'd find anywhere, and start lining them up one by one. I glue them together carefully, making a little structure that's stronger than it looks. Once everything is set, here's the clever bit. We make a small hole right in the middle. That tiny hole is going to do the magic, bringing the whole thing to life. It's funny how just a few sticks and a bit of glue can turn into the core of the whole project. Now comes the clever part. I take the empty pen refill, the thin little tube, and slide it through the hole in the popsicle sticks, all the way up until it sits flush with the top of the stacked sticks. Then, here's the tricky bit. I take the pen body and glue it just a little above the refill, making sure they're perfectly perpendicular to each other. It's a small step, but it's what turns this simple setup into a proper little sprayer. Funny how careful positioning can make such a big difference. Now we move on to the next step. I grab an empty paint can and carefully make 2 holes in it, one for air to flow in and the other for air to escape under pressure. It might sound simple, but these 2 holes are exactly what make the whole sprayer work properly. Then I take the pen refill and cut it so it matches the height of the can, making sure it fits perfectly inside and lines up just right with the airflow. When everything is set in place, you can really see how ordinary things like a simple empty can and a tiny tube can transform into a functional little paint sprayer. It's the attention to these small details that separates a simple DIY setup from a sprayer that actually works. And it's exactly this process that makes building it so satisfying and fun. Now we open the can and pour in the paint. Not too much, just enough for the sprayer to work properly. Then I carefully slide the pen refill through one of the holes, making sure it sits perfectly and aligns with the airflow. Here comes the fun part. I take the popsicle stick structure we built earlier and glue it securely onto the top of the can's lid. Once everything is in place, you can really see how these simple pieces start coming together, forming a small but functional paint sprayer. This is the moment where DIY really feels satisfying. Watching ordinary things like a can, a tube, and a few sticks transform into a working tool makes every step exciting and rewarding. Now the only thing left is to attach a thin tube to the end of the pen body. When you blow into the tube, air rushes through the narrow tip, creating the pressure needed to pump paint from the can and spray it out. It's amazing how such a simple tube and a little breath can turn all the parts we've built into a real functional paint sprayer. This is the moment where you really see how exciting and satisfying it is to turn ordinary materials into something practical and working.